day, everyone. Welcome to Pathway 2024, a podcast where we get to talk about self development, career development, and financial freedom. And with me here is Mr. Stanley Agada, an HR professional, and to my left is Mr. Femi Adewole, a financial expert. And I am Adekoya Demeji. I'll be your host for today. So, Mr. Stanley, Happy New Year to you. Yes, good to see you again. Thus far, how's the year been? I know the year is just starting, but how's it been thus far?
Yeah, it's started on a positive note, and we are hoping that 2024 holds a lot more for us, and which we believe that we position ourselves out there and take this opportunity to make work wherever we have it.
Okay, great. Okay, so Femi, our financial expert. Yeah. So, what's your overview for 2024?
Yeah, my overview is I see prosperity, I see better Nigeria, I see people doing great things in their finances, I see new businesses springing up, I see even employees thriving in their respective fields and their endeavors. So, we hope for the best.
Thank you very much. Okay, so Stanley, quickly, let's talk about CV. I think I saw a post somewhere on the internet where a young man was having this complaint as to he submitted the CV for probably a job opening or vacancy somewhere, and they reverted to him saying his CV wasn't put right, like the CV wasn't well presented or something. So I was thinking, do we really have a correct format? Is there a generic format for CV?
Okay, so for me, I don't know if other people agree with me, but from my years of experience, I believe that the CV should be structured in such a way that it tells a story, basically. So you will have the candidate's biodata, most times the name, the address, date of birth is not usually necessary these days because of the whole discrimination of the age. And I mean, some companies basically set their entry level requirement as 23 years old or 22 years old. I mean, when you have gone to university, you spend like 6 years, strikes at first. You have already reached that 22 or 23 years old. So, I mean, people should be able to, I mean, employers should look out for more talented people and forget about the age. And I also think that the CV should have an important component, which is your objective as a person. What do you seek to? What are your objectives? What do you want to achieve? That gives an insight to the employer as to what kind of candidate you are as a whole. Then your job experience should be properly itemized from the newest down to the oldest. That gives that basically tells a story. It will show the employer that okay, look, this guy has worked here. So state the number of years you've worked in this particular places, and also make sure you always include your achievements because that gives the employer a sense of it makes decision making even easier. It shows them that this guy has this potential to actually deliver these things, these responsibilities if he or she is placed in that situation, in that position rather. Then also referees, I don't think referees are usually important anymore. But however, if you as an employer you want referees, you can always ask for the referees at the point of onboarding process of the employee's life cycle. So once you have onboarded them, you can get this data or this information from the candidates. But I don't think the CV should have those things. The CV should just basically be one or two. It should be one or two pages CV, so that the employer or the recruiting manager can actually quickly glance through, or at a glance, they know what they're actually looking for from that candidate.
So I like the part where he said, because I was going to ask with regards to how long should your CV be. I remember when my first ever CV, it was so scanty, and I was saying to myself, I can never get a job with the CV because there was almost nothing to put on the CV, and internally I was struggling, and I was just struggling to try to make it 3 pages, 4 pages, just to make it exactly like okay, there's something.
I could do something, yeah. But I mean, most times your qualification should be able to speak for you. professional qualifications as well, or trainings that you may have attended that actually makes you stand out amongst your peer. Those things are actually also considered. So yeah, I think that should be.
Okay, so according to a NSC job outlook in 2017, they said 91% of employers prefer their candidates to have work experience, and 65% of them prefer their candidates to have relevant work experience. Now, how does this apply to fresh applicants or fresh graduates with little or no work experience?
Okay, so let me just use the Nigerian context to answer this. So in Nigeria, should I say, okay, when a fresh graduate comes out of school and is out there looking for a job, most times there are things we call entry level roles. Do you understand? They don't actually require the whole past experience or relevant experience or even any experience at all. They just want you to have that educational qualification which qualifies you for that job. But then again, when they say they want relevant experience is that for an engineer, let me use an engineer for an example. So if you are, let me just say, okay, maybe you are going to become a head engineer in some organization. If you do not have prior relevant experience in, say, maybe like an officer or in an officer as an officer in that particular field, there is no way you can ascend to that role because you would not even know what you are doing there for starters. So it's always important that you understand the difference between relevant experience and just any experience at all. When they say just experience at all, you will know that that role is not a professional role. You don't require a specific kind of qualification to work in those roles. Example, customer services. They just want to see that you have this
Basic communication
you
skills,
understand communication, customer services, have
empathy.
you understand empathy, know how to, calm a customer, calm an irate customer down. Those are the kind of things that I'm sure that's what they meant in that. Yeah. So for entry level experience, for non-experienced individuals, I think they should focus more on acquiring entry level roles. And if you are in a situation whereby you think that you want to stand out amongst your peers, even furthermore, you can actually go for internships. If not for internships, go for graduate programs. Those things, they are rich with knowledge. They are rich with, in fact, not just knowledge, they show you how business is actually being run. And that can actually it can cover up for that experience as well. So, yeah.
That's very, very insightful. Do you want to say something?
Yes, to add to what you said, yes, said fantastic. The entry level requirement is have education. Education is the starting point that takes you. Even if you have all the experience, your potential employer will still look at what are your qualifications, what do you have to add value to your resume. So,
In addition to that, one more thing is if you see on the person specification, like that's person specification is what the employer requires of you as an employee to be able to deliver these job responsibilities. So one of those things that you should have is not to if you see that you do not have the qualification, like maybe the requirement is a BSc and you have an NCE or you have an NG and you're thinking that God can help me when I apply. No, it's not going to work that way because there is a minimum requirement for that role. So please, you guys should.
This is calling a spade a spade, going by the rules of the game.
Just know that.
Very
absolutely. I think there's also an automation for
Yes.
CVs. So
If you
no
have those
human being
things,
is even
yes,
looking at
yes,
unless have it on the
yes,
computer
yes,
or
I
not have
agree.
it on what you have. So
Exactly.
it's automatic.
I think
it's been given instructions,
Yes,
so that it executes those instructions. I mean, those things are called.
the use of AI now to
Yes.
filter because
It's
there are a lot of
basically-
applicants, and so these days computers and technology are just doing the filtering, and so if you're not meeting up with the set requirements.
Yes, just don't.
All right. Femi, looking at the global economy for half a decade now, it's been a whole lot of roller coaster. And it seemed like these days, people don't even seem to understand what's happening with their financial life. You see a lot of people taking loans and they're using loans to repay loans. Friends are running out to scatter. What's your ideal understanding of financial freedom?
Okay, that's a very interesting one. What I want to establish first of all is that the financial, let me put decadence, is not peculiar to Nigeria. It's a global thing. Let me call it a global pandemic. So there's financial struggle.
Pandemic.
Yes, all over. Businesses, top companies, billionaires, everybody is trying to find a balance financially. So coming down to your question about financial freedom is what I used to advise that every human being strive to achieve. And the question is, what is financial freedom? So let me give you two perspectives. The first perspective is financial freedom means you are the one controlling your finances and not your finances controlling you. That means you are financially free. Just like slavery, when you are under the control of a master, you cannot say you are free. So until you get your freedom, from that, and you can now control. Until you gain control over what is controlling you, then you are not free. Then, in a professional way, financial freedom means if the return you get on your investment can pay your bills, then you're financially free. What do I mean? If you if your expenses in a month is say 300,000 every month, expenses, all bills paid 300,000, and then you have a return from an investment that can pay those bills, then you're financially free. What that means is that you don't have to work. Okay. Some people will say if you can earn a decent salary and you can meet up your lifestyle, you are financially free. No. The reason why I disagree is because you still have to go and work to maintain the lifestyle the following month. So you're not free. See, you're not free. So if you are at that stage, and that is what separates wealthy people from those that do well. That's what separates billionaires from poor people. From poor people. So when you get to that point where your bills are paid without you working, or even if you are working, but your bills are paid from the income of your investment, you're financially free.
Interesting. So I mean, by virtue of interaction, I know a particular young man who is doing very well in terms of monthly income. And recently we had a conversation, and it was just all about this money they haven't paid me. I don't know where the money goes to. I don't even understand what's happening to my money. I earn so well. Probably clocking about a 1.5 million currently, monthly. And of course, 60 hours and one or two other business. But he seemed not to understand where his money is going to. But I know he clocks a lot. And he drinks a lot. So I want to believe that would be one of the hindrances to financial freedom. So, what are some other things that we can consider as hindrances to financial freedom?
Okay, so there are a lot, but I will try and size it in a reasonable number. You see, financial freedom is something that we have to deliberate about. So it's not about words of mouth. It's something that you have to be intentional about. Let me give an example. Okay, we have more than 250 million people in Nigeria. Or let's say household of 400 million Nigerians. We have three social classes: the top class, the middle class, and the lower class. So the lower class kept complaining that there is no money, the economy is bad, this and that, this and that. So let's now say there is even distribution of wealth. So every household is having 1 million. So 400 million Nigerians have equal amount. 1 million naira, all that stuff. So you can't complain that somebody has it's poorer. The social class has been dissolved. Give it 2 years, the social class will go back again. They will still be
Class
class
people
come
hit
back.
their 1 million. Like the story of the talent and the parable of the talent here.
So this is something we have to deliberate about. Then what the question will now be, what the amount for that return of social class is the mindset. A poor man will be thinking about consumption, while someone who is financially inclined and deliberate will be thinking about production. So consumption will deplete you. It is production that replenishes. So the young man who says he doesn't know where he's going from, let me also say another thing. In this part of the world, we have wrong beliefs about finances. We believe there is a demon somewhere. Yes, we believe there's a demon somewhere that is eating our finances. You know, Yoruba has this saying of Abano. It's like a devourer.
Like something is just touching your money.
Your salary enter.
Something will just come off and
one
money
demon
will
will just
just
come and spend it. If you take that to sit down and then write down what you have spent for that month or how you have spent your money, you will discover that you are the demon. Yes. There's no demon anywhere. It is you. So one of the hindrances is that we don't plan. We don't plan for our finances. As I am, I know the cost of 1 carton of Indomie. Yes, that's it. That's the intentionality. Okay, you normally say a woman should know now. How come a man is new? You know, I know the cost of a tuber of yam. Yes, because all those things goes into plan. Do you know what planning does? Planning creates order, and order creates increase. For example, you have a shelf or a wardrobe. You just dump your clothes inside. You will get to a point that this wardrobe is too small. You cannot contain more clothes. The day you sit down and rearrange those clothes, you fold them, you will discover that there's still room for other clothes. The same principle applies to finance. People don't plan, they don't write down what to spend. When it comes to finances, you have to instruct your money. You say, this month, 20,000, you are going to school fee. 15,000, you are going to fuel. 17,000, you are going to school. You send your money and errand.
But how do you think people can balance this planning with the current economic reality, whereby you could buy an item for, say, XYZ amount, and, you know, in Lagos, they say the price they give you the money, it's not the price they'll give you in the afternoon. So how can people, because I think these are some of the challenges that is affecting planning. Even when you said, okay, I'm budgeting 300,000 for my house upkeep, and maybe by the time you get into the market, you have to go back to your savings. How do you think people can meet halfway? How do you think people can strike this balance?
The strategy is live below your income. You have many people who live equal to their income. When you live equal to your income, it means you have no savings, you have no leftover. And some people, they live above. That one's even worse. do you know why? You see, how come? If an employee that goes home every month is, let's say, 500,000, and in the course of the month, he has spent without budget, without anything, he has spent recklessly, he has given to Mama Chukudi that came to bed for money, he has given this, he has given that. At the end of the day, he's discovered that the month has not ended. Our salary is not coming. The next thing he thinks of is, let me borrow. Okay, so you reach out to the HR for IOU or a colleague that, can you just lend me 100,000? Don't forget his income is 500,000. So he has borrowed 100,000. That 100,000 will satisfy him for the month. So he's okay, he can meet expenses. Don't forget, when the next salary comes in, he's no longer getting 500
for a salary that was not meeting up before.
Exactly. So he's not only earning 500, he's now earning 400. The cycle continues because his expenses is still the same and probably increase because of inflation that we have now. The cycle continues. So the following month, he will spend and still say, bros, borrow me. Do you understand? So everything starts and stops in planning. How we are not going to plan is in different way. Which, if you have that, you get there. It has to be penned down. You have to budget for everything. Another thing is, in this part of the world, we have, I think I used to discuss with you that we have this sense of entitlement. People just feel entitled to your money.
And some people just say no.
And people just feel entitled to your salary. Like, bros, anything now, you understand?
So that's also a hindrance to financial freedom.
Exactly. It's also an hindrance because they will play the pity card or victim card. And normally, as human being, feel like, how it go be say, I know they give people. You understand? So when you give, don't forget that you are depleting.
Something funny happened December into January. A lot of persons will be like, what? So I think on the 31st, I was driving and somebody said, what? I now waited, I now said, how many people do I want to give for Owodu? How much have I? Owodu, so one of the things is festival money or festival money. Like, okay, even me, how many people have given me? And I think I had a budget for the festive season. But unfortunately, I think I became a victim of my 1,000 here, 1,000 here. By the time you give like 20, you say 1,000 is small. When you've given 20 people, 1,000, that's 20,000 naira. So yes, I think I agree with you. That index. Okay, so quickly, Stanley. People pray before they go for interview. Some people fast. Some people will call pastor. They're about to come in now. So pray for me. But at the end of the day, they don't get the job. How do you think people should introduce themselves in an interview? Let's start from, because I think that's the beginning of the interview. You've even survived, your CV has been shortlisted, and AI didn't knock it out because you met up with probably the minimum requirements. Now the interview proper.
Okay, so it's not as if Baba God is not it's just that maybe you did not give the interviewer what he or she was expecting from you. So now, for me, the proper way to introduce yourself during an interview is, first of all, introduce yourself. It's not say my name, sir. Just say my name is, my name is Stanley Agada. Just give a brief introduction about yourself, your background, your educational background. Tell us about what skills and attributes that you have, that you possess, that actually makes you stand out for the role. Explain to the interviewer your previous experience, what you are very, very conversant with. Like, give them an insight as to why you should be hired. Those things are basically insights. It's not just that you start telling them about your history, your educational history. I went to Ahmadu Bello University in 2007. From there, I went to Unilag. From there, no. It becomes boring. See, most people don't know. It's just like storytelling. It has to be interesting it has to be captivating even to the interviewer too. So these days, it's not even just about recruitment anymore. It's also about talent acquisition. We want to hire the right people that actually fit into the role properly. Do you understand? So even when we hired you, we still want to retain you in that business. So there are things that we can also put in place to actually keep you hooked in the business and where you remain productive for us as an employee in the business.
Okay, very well. So now you've done well with the introduction, you've introduced yourself properly. What are some of the mistakes? What are those few mistakes you think job applicants now do or probably do during an interview?
Okay, for me, the deal breaker is usually when the candidate comes and lies about skills or knowledge or educational qualification or even experience that they do not have, but they claim that they actually have. That's a bad hire. Because if that kind of candidate ends up deceiving you up to the point where they get hired, I mean, you will have a capability problem in your hands as an HR person. And most times, capability leads to you leaving, letting go of that kind of employee. But however, if you put training in place and that kind of employee is able to pick up, it's a good one. It's a good one. But you have spent some money on training already. It's not as if businesses are not required to train normally. But I mean, that would have actually given the employee an opportunity to learn something different than the grassroots that they are being presented to at that point in time. So I also think that you as a candidate, you shouldn't be too overconfident. There's this African adage that says that overskilled men kill monkey. So I mean, you cannot be too overconfident. I mean, that even it projects you in a kind of way that is not actually welcome. And the interviewer might not say anything about that, but I mean, it's it's not it's not a pretty thing to do. Really. You shouldn't be too confident. Then also, I think that you should always be punctual to your interviews because first impression is really important.
Yeah, I agree with you.
And also dress. You cannot. Yes, I understand the fact that there is a need for you for diversity. Now, diversity and inclusion and equity. But you need to understand something. When you are coming for an interview, please make sure you dress corporately. Even if they don't state it there, dress corporately. There are some organizations that don't really bother about what you do, but how you dress and all of that. But I mean,
For that basic interview level, at least create an impression.
create an impression. Do you understand? Especially if it's even a corporate role. It's different with the IT guys, you understand? But once it's a corporate role, like finance, HR, legal, the roles that fall into that kind of category. Yeah, please, you just need to make sure you are well dressed to create a positive impression with the interview.
Interview and you're being asked questions. Sometimes when you even see the panelists, when you see the gentlemen and the good ladies sitting, your liver begins to shake. And when they say, "Do you have a question?" most people are often scared to ask questions. I saw something online. I think it was on Nairaland where someone said he was asked if he had any question and he really didn't even know how to ask the question. And he wanted to ask what was the salary of our bros. Looking like we didn't know nothing. So how do you think people can manage the situation?
Okay, let me say this from an interviewer's point of view. We actually want you to ask us those questions. Do you understand? At least that way we even understand that you want to know, we're interested about the role, we're interested in knowing more about the role. So for example, if you ask me what the salary range is, I mean I'm happy to give you the information. At least that will help you make a decision too. If it's something you are willing to take, you get me. And we also welcome you asking questions about the culture in the business, asking to know what it is like working at that place, at your establishment. Because we're trying to attract talents, so we are trying to also make sure that in the process of attracting talent, we have a flexible work pattern as well, so not to be so rigid. I mean, make people scared. So, in fact, most times when you are coming into an interview to say with me, I mean, I'm always all smiles, man. I mean, that puts you at bay.
Because I know sometimes they even tell is the interviewee now, is that job applicant like relax, be free, but they just they feel like they don't have to lose guy.
They are just usually unnecessarily scared. And I don't think you should be scared, really. You should really, it's an opportunity to ask questions. It's an interview. I mean, they're asking you questions. I mean, they're bombarding you with questions. Some of them say you don't have to think about your future generation before you can even answer them. But I mean, you should always learn to ask relevant questions at the interview because it can aid your
individual decision.
Okay, so according to a career builder research in 2018, they said 20% of employers believe new graduates are not yet prepared for the workforce.
New graduates and new graduate workforce. I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say that. Well, I mean, they say different strokes for different folks. So for me, I would love to harness the uh, capabilities of the young minds. They have the opportunity to learn very well at that point in time, and it will be a great opportunity for you as an employer to take advantage of them. And not like in a negative way, not like taking advantage of them. I mean, absorb this workforce that fall into this age range, and you know, not age range, should I say categories? Yeah, and then train them, and I mean, let them grow with you in the business. That's what I think. It's um, it's only fair when you give everybody the opportunity to actually try the issues.
Okay, I think these are very helpful tips that are being shared with us. I hope the audience are actually penning down some of these insightful secrets, so we call them. Still talking on financial freedom. What are the few things people need to put in place to get financial freedom?
Okay. To be financially free, you need discipline. Discipline across all walks of life. And most importantly, see, people will always reach out to you for help. But you have to remember that you cannot solve everybody's problem. But that's what we, let me put it in quotes, religious people like, this person do good and you receive good. You understand? You have to be disciplined about your finance. Some people, they go to club. You know how much you spend in a club. Okay, let's say it's fine. You go once in a month. You go, you just want to relax.
And this also should be dependent on your income.
It's dependent on what you're getting. Because if you go to a club or go to a beer parlor, you do whatever, and you expend your money, you still be back to low. Or worst case scenario, embezzlement at work.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Like Jimmy used to say that if a man is desperate for money, the only thing he thinks of is to borrow or steal. That's why we have people in government that spend recklessly, and the only thing you think about
because they are funding, they are funding
a lifestyle.
I can imagine how many persons the minister will be disturbing. You have to pay my children's school fees. And so it's just looking for a way to meet up with that.
We have to be disciplined. Okay, I was listening to Nickelodeon's podcast some time ago. And he was telling his co-host that his agent asked him one time that, are you saving? Because he was playing, he was earning good money. And he told the agent that, I have families at home that are always asking for money. He said that even his sister that got married, the husband will still be asking, and he was like, we're not even the agent, we're just sitting above. He still be fully footing the bills.
The dependency theory.
The dependency theory. So it's just so much, and people just have the sense of entitlement to your money. Until he told himself that, okay, you know what, I'm stopping this. Whatever people want to do, you do. Whatever you want to say about me, say about me. I will do what I can. Because at the end of the day, we have so many footballers who have retired, and yet they are bankrupt. They don't have money. So discipline is very key. Watch your life. If your lifestyle cannot meet up or you cannot maintain it based on your income, reduce it. Tone it down. You understand? Even in some part of the world here, some Christians or some religious people they say, this person is committing sin. Look at the way he's living his life. It's a lie. It's because the man talking does not have the financial capability to do that lifestyle. Yes. So another thing is, there is this balance that they say, owo ni nina. meaning that money
It's
is for spending.
You don't keep it. You spend
Yes.
it.
Money is not for spending all the time. Because if you do spending, you have nothing to fall back on. So we have to change some mindset. We have to be disciplined. It calls for discipline. Because even for me in my house, we already know how much we spend on fuel, on car maintenance, on food, child school fee, you understand? And we know the percentage that we put out, even for emergencies. Yes, because some things comes up. We are human beings. We are living in an imperfect world. Anything can come up at any time, and you can't keep running to people to borrow you because you start creating a perception about you that whenever your phone rings,
Mm.
you know, people just like
Our brother's coming in.
you know, hello, I'm very rich now. Oh, God, no, I'm not asking for money. I just want to greet because they already know you. You know, that is not a good perception. So cut down your cost. The lifestyle that you cannot maintain, cut it down. I must say that it is not all actually that you do buy.
That's why I look for the one that next closely.
Yes, these are the issues.
Yes.
These are the issues because even now they say premium or nothing, luxury or nothing. So yes, I
So this does not mean that you are stingy.
to yourself.
That's not being stingy. That's not being you are living
Discipline.
you are just being disciplined. Okay, let me also say, if I don't buy your ashwabi that you are selling for 12,000 and I just package some few cash in the envelope and give you 5,000 and say congratulations on your birthday or whatever, you still appreciate it. And I come to your party with the clothes I already have, well ironed, neatly and all that. I'm okay. But if I can afford it, why not? But going extra mile to place people to live in a certain way. I must tell you, this financial, let me say, financial lab is mentally draining.
It's
When
driving
a man
people
does not have
into
money, you
depression,
know what it means? Yes.
and depression leads to suicide.
Yes. When there's no cash, you look at your bank account, everything red, man. Especially a man, married man. No. So you just have to be disciplined. Even the money that you apportion for your parents, because you need to take care of your parents as well. Put it down in the budget. Let them know that per month, this is what I will be giving you, mommy. This is what I will be giving you, daddy. They already know. You understand? Then if other surplus comes in, like okay, there's bonuses or somebody just tips you whatever, that one is supplementary. But your main income, you have to be disciplined. Budget for everything. You should be disciplined.
So I saw in a journal where they wrote that you spoke about emergencies, and then I saw where they wrote that inadequate planning for emergencies can actually drive you into financial slavery. How do you think people should plan for emergencies? So there should be a savings account. Should there be a savings account? Should there be an emergency fund? Or should just do your insurance, like car insurance, health insurances? How can people plan for emergency funds such that they don't become financially reckless whenever these emergencies arise? And what can we consider as emergencies?
Okay, so I think everybody knows what emergencies is. For example, because of the month, somebody, your family just suddenly fell sick, and they say, oh, they needed money for whatever. You know, those things you don't even be saying that people will feel. Another thing also, in all this financial freedom journey that we are embarking on, you also have to take care of your health. Your health is important as well. So if you don't take care of your health, you spend most of your money taking care of the health. So your lifestyle also have to be okay. So emergencies there are a lot of emergencies are unforeseen occurrences. You know, you have insurance to take care of some things. For example, your car insurance. You know, if anything happens, of course in Lagos anything can happen, especially when you're driving. So you already know that insurance has taken care of that. You understand? And then some percentage of your salary should be earmarked for it. Do you know the advantage of it? In 1 month, there might not be occurrence of it of emergency, but you already have something. The next month, there might not be. You already have something, so it's building up. By the time the emergency shows up, it might not even be up to what you have saved, and yet you still have extra. So now let's now some people will now ask that what if the emergency supersedes what you have spent? At least you have a buffer. So those are the things. We are not here to say, oh, everything is follows a pattern. But you have a buffer. Somebody needs 100,000 at the hospital. You already have 80,000. It's very easy for you to approach somebody to say, ah, boss, I already have 8,000. Can you just give me 10,000 to balance? Not, boss, you need 100,000. I don't have shishi. Even that one alone, people just like, where am I going to start from? And they start running better. So there should be a budget for it. Whether it meets up or not, just earmark something for the emergency.
And I think that's also helpful in the place of loss of a job. Because I used to hear this saying that if you lose your job today, do you have funds that can sustain you for the next 6 months? In most cases you hear people say, the economy is that we are not even saving, we are borrowing, and once some people lose the job, that's just the end. Like they crash.
Okay, so
let
let
me
me
say something about
let
that.
me weigh into this. Many employees, instead of them to thrive towards financial freedom, they thrive towards financial security. Financial security is, oh, let me just get a job and let me do everything to keep the job. That only give you security, and we all know that even in security, there's no security. You understand? So, if you are working towards financial freedom, you are disciplined, you are deliberate about your
Intentional.
Yes. Company can fold up.
Like COVID.
Yeah, we can't even say
COVID
that
era,
they lay you off. Let's even leave layoff. Company can say, man.
Yes, we've seen
Yeah,
about
yes,
three companies fold up over the last few months. Yes, Nigeria.
And how easy, you know,
15, wow.
no, a lot of companies has even folded up. And those companies have employees. You understand? So people that are fighting for financial security, where's the security when they lose their job? At least to the minimum, to be fair on this platform. If you can take care of your 3 months expense after a layoff, you strive towards that. Let's not go 6 months. You can start now. It's not too late. Try for a 3 months.
Okay, you come from anywhere.
Absolutely. Like anything happens in 3 months, I take care of myself, take care of my family. I bet you before the end of that 3 months, we have gotten something.
That requires a whole lot of financial discipline.
Absolutely.
Serious intentionality with how you spend your money. You know, sometimes people get carried away when they're having fun. Like, okay, tonight though, I'm just going to take one bottle. But when they bring that one bottle, your drink is very cold today. Can you bring? And then it's the pepper soup ready. So I think you need to be disciplined. Discipline. Wow. Interesting. The world is changing. We've seen it in various status of life, in the banking sector, even in the churches today. You're having e-offering, POS transfer. It cuts across every field of endeavor of human life. What are some of the skills you think people should strive to have today? I was telling the driver recently, I was going somewhere and we got a bit lost on the road and I felt he knew where we were going and I was like, we should ask someone. And I said, don't you have Google Map? He said he has internet. Check Google Map. He said he can't use Google Map. I'm like, which driver today can't? And if you were to be an elderly man, an extremely elderly man, I'm not bothered. This is someone in his mid-30s confidently saying he can't use Google Map. So in the work environment, in the workplace, with the change in IT, we are seeing AI technology. What are some of the core skills or courses you think that, okay, at whatever level you have in your career, you should have this basic fundamental skill given to the change that we are seeing today?
Okay, so my top 3 first will be technological awareness. That is the one we call IT skills. So you see in some people's series, I mean, it's broader than just the IT skills. It's a whole lot more. I used the term technological awareness because
I like that word.
IT technology is broader than just um, using the computer or sending an email or just even receiving an email now. I mean, there are tools that are used to design graphics. There are tools that are used to make mathematical computations. Data sets. And all these things are actual skills, soft skills that you need to actually thrive in the business space. Another thing again, I believe, and I strongly think people should really have is what we call business acumen. I mean, if you have business acumen, it will mean that, like, okay, you have a knack for the business as also. I mean, you want to even understand how the business process is even how it goes, and that can actually even put you at an advantage. Another thing is leadership. I mean, the moment you begin to exhibit leadership skills, it actually shows that you are a potential manager. And as a leader, you should know that you should have empathy. There is no way that you will be a leader and you will not have empathy. I mean, there are leaders and there are bosses.
Yes.
We
those always see
things,
and say that.
those two things need to be differentiated. Bosses push you around, they give orders. Leaders actually guide you through the process. It's almost like hand holding you,
babysitting you.
Yes. But you know what? The moment you have understood that process and that leader leaves you and allows you to go. I mean, he too will be proud that that is my prodigy. I was the one who impacted that knowledge on him, on he or her. So I mean, it's
I like that because I remember a book by Johnson Maxwell. He calls it the 360-degree leadership, and I think the summary of the book is in whatsoever position at whatsoever level you find yourself, have the thought of I am a leader, I am leading, and that will help you drive excellence.
Definitely help you. And you need to also, even if you're an entry level candidate, if you've held leadership positions while you were in the university, you need to state it there so that the person even interviewing you understands who or she this person is. He has had a leadership experience in the past, and that person has been in a leadership position and understands a thing or two about what it takes to be in leader. So yeah,
that's a comparative advantage. That's a
thing. So you also mentioned about courses that one needs to have. Before I proceed, I forgot to mention communication skills is very, very key.
At every and any
Honestly, it is very, very key. In fact, most times what people even want to look at is how you communicate effectively. I mean, if you cannot hold an actual conversation with your peers.
I think communication is key because I've had to be on project. I've been literally begging people to say that I'm an introvert too. I don't like talking. But you have to take responsibility.
So the communication is not
verbal alone.
It's written.
Yeah, it's true. So I have to express yourself. Say that you are an introvert. Are you introverted?
Yeah. So on some of the classes I really strongly advise people to take on this. That leadership is one. If you can do Internet of Things, it help you with some soft skills that you might require while you're at the workplace. I also think you should monetize yourself with softwares like Microsoft Office.
Very important.
It's very, very important. I cannot even overemphasize the usage and the advantage of those tools. Any work environment you go to, they use those things. So it's always good. You are ahead of the game. Have this knowledge prior to your interview. Like when the interview I went for before when I was about to become an HR trainee, that was my first HR gig. When I got there, they asked me if I knew Excel. Funny enough, I knew how to do the basic additions, subtractions. But I told the guy, yes, I could do it. But when the guy asked me to do something, I did it. But it was not the way he was expecting I would deliver it that I did it. He then gave me 2 weeks to go and practice more on Excel and come back. When I came back, I scored 8/10 in that Excel interview. And I mean, it boosted my confidence, and in the long run, I've been able to, I've continued to,
So there should be willingness to learn.
there should
You
be
should have a
willingness,
teachable spirit.
there should be willingness to learn. I mean, if you do not learn, you can never move forward. If you do not, yeah, I mean, the world is changing, everything is evolving. The workforce, in fact, the requirements for jobs too are even becoming very, very diverse. I mean, you see people now say, I was reading an article on McKinsey. In fact, they are trying to scrap educational qualifications for as a prerequisite for jobs. Now, they just want the soft skills now. Once the soft skills are there, I mean, what else really though? But once the skills, not even just the soft skills, set skills are there at this point in time. I mean, it puts you.
I think this should be a takeaway for everyone that you should have at least 2 products on Microsoft Office that you are very comfortable. You know, I was in a presentation recently, and there was this lady who came in, and you know, our first 3 slides blew everyone off. We're like, I remember the TL, the team lead of the project was like, did you pay somebody to do this or you actually did it? And it just had confidence. Didn't even allow her go halfway with the presentation. Just had some sort of confidence. I was like, you know what? We've even highlighted you. Just stay somewhere. Let's see what other people want to say. And you could almost tell that just because of what he had seen, he was not really invested in others, whatever they have to say, because it was already blown away by just the first 3 slides. And she had about 28 slides. And the first 3, because I don't know how she did it, that she perfected. Even me, I was like, wow, did you use PowerPoint for this thing? She was like, yes. So I agree with you. I agree with you that we need to have this set of skills. So quickly, there was one thing COVID gave to the world. I mean, particularly, I know as an HR person, this hybrid, remote work from home, should we call them the work order of the day now?
As a new order.
The new order. It's not difficult to, I mean, in a way, I know it's sometimes hamper full productivity. Unlike when you're working, everyone is physically present in the office. You need a document, you need that information. You can easily snack into the next office and say, oh, please, I need XYZ. Can you help me? So, given to this new work order, what do you consider the right attitude to work these days?
Okay, first and foremost, I would say commitment is one of the key things an employee needs to exhibit during this era. Because in a situation whereby the employee is not committed, that leaves their work undone. For example, an employee who is working from home, or should I say is working remotely at this point in time, and he and his line managers, or he or she and their line managers have agreed on set objectives that they need to meet, and particular timelines where you're supposed to deliver these things, and you fail to actually deliver these things. These things that will actually hamper on your productivity. It also has a knock-on effect on the overall departmental and business processes. So if you are not a committed employee, how would you even know that? Would you even know that this my actions has a knock-on effect, has a ripple effect that that goes as far as to the business level as a whole. If you do not have commitment, you can never thrive in this kind of in this remote system, in this remote working environment. So it's always advisable that you're committed to it, and your line manager will always be there to acknowledge the people. And in fact, we even encourage and pave paths for promotions as well too. Because it will be that this is somebody that goes over and beyond. We will always be seen. So another thing again that I also think that we should that will consider the right attitude to work. It's also punctuality too. I mean, there should be no excuses. You are getting paid to come to work and do these things. So, why excuses?
Lagos traffic. Lagos traffic.
Like one of the excuses, yes, but we cannot take away the fact that Lagos traffic can be dreadful.
It can be for a week straight of 7 weeks straight.
Let me say this. I'm not even trying to say this to even put myself in a good light or anything. I've actually experienced this 1 week straight hold up before. When I used to stay in Festa, there were trailers packed on the road. In fact, sometimes it spans from mile 2, it will reach what do you call this place sometimes? I mean, it comes that far sometimes. So by the time I leave home by 7, hoping with the intention that I'll be getting to work by 9 a.m. I mean, that's 2 hours. 2 hours.
We are still on the road by to 10.
But I'll still be on the way by 10 a.m. So I mean, sometimes it's not really my fault. So where I used to even work before, because they knew that Lagos would get crazy sometimes, they pegged resumption times to 9 a.m. But after 9 a.m., there's usually a grace period of allowance, 30 minutes or an hour, depending on what you expect.
I think this should be adopted across board.
So that is where you begin to see that businesses are tilting towards flexibility. Flexibility is very key in today's world. I mean, it spans. In fact, flexibility helps what we call the work-life balance. So, if there is no balance between your work and your life at home, I mean, you will be in shambles. Let's face it. If you are focusing more on your work, you are ignoring your health, you are ignoring your family, you are ignoring things that require attention at home, and that also puts your relationship at home. So it can actually make your relationship to go soft. So, but if you have a balance,
You can strike the balance.
you can strike the balance with this thing. And as an employee engagement strategy in HR, it's always advisable you adopt equilibrium in work-life balance for employees.
That's very, very, very interesting. Well, I think the work-life balance thing, it's a movement now. I think organizations are beginning to embrace it. We see team bonding. Short, I saw a video from a particular company where they said everybody should come in their native, like proper native, and represent your culture, traditional day, old school day, your food, it's just really a bit of fun in the workspace because it can be really demanding.
Yes, and besides the fun, it actually shows potential hires that look, this is what
Is it paid?
this is what working with us looks like. It gives them. In fact, it's more like branding. This is what we call employment branding. It's a talent management strategy as well. So the moment you can actually, that's why sometimes if you watch, maybe if you are trying to apply for British American tobacco roles, they will play a video. You see some people sipping coffee. They're showing what
we are offering, what we are bringing to you.
Some people, you see them, they will have their dogs running around the office. I mean, they're just showing you that, okay, look, we know you are our employee, but still, we want you to be coming here. We know you love your pets. We know you love these things that actually make you whole while you are home. You can bring them along to work and discharge your duties and have them here with you as well. That is why you see many organizations are beginning to have crutches. Many organizations are beginning to have clinics. I mean, because when you have a crutch, you can easily just go and check up on your baby. You don't even need to even
your mind.
when you are living
Exactly.
work, you're living with your baby. So I mean, that flexibility must be there. You must be flexible. Today's world, today's working environment demands that you be flexible because you will not attract the kind of talents that will fit in right with you.
I'm always very careful when I want to talk about the Gen Z, maybe in the public space, but they seem to have a different vibe.
That is why you must.
And if you cannot make, you just need to look for a way to. They have a different vibe.
That is why you need to have a diversity, inclusion, and equity policy in your business. Because these guys, I mean, you have a young workforce, and imagine you don't have TGIF.
Seriously?
You don't have.
They just work out.
You don't have brand day. You are telling them that they cannot It must be Kalambolo they will have. No. Nobody's going to have that. The Gen Z will walk out on you. In fact, their mental health, you cannot even scream at the Gen Z.
Yes.
In the current working
I
environment,
agree
because
with you.
they will give it to you. You cannot be thinking that way.
I agree with you.
So
I agree
you need
with
to
you.
be inclusive. You need to understand that you have a young workforce and plan for them as such. Because if you do not plan for Gen Zs, and although I know many millennials are also at the office too, you need to also plan for them as well. Do you understand? You cannot just base all your plans on the Gen Zs. Do something that
Cuts across board. Fantastic. Very, 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 very. It's been a great time here, really. So much to learn, so much to, educate oneself about. Financial plan. I think this is where financial freedom begins to get interesting. Financial plan. What is it to know about financial planning?
Okay. There's this belief that people have that when they pray and fast for longer hours, God will just bless them with money. Yes.
Immediately.
And to even add to that, you hear some leaders tell them, as you are going out today, 1 big millions will fall into your account. Just see, people start, they start keying into it and then expect some people will be walking on the road and be thinking,
Some people can give out all the money they have because they're expecting more.
that's serious faith.
yeah, exactly. But this is not to discredit any religion.
Yes.
But we are just coming to reality about this finance. Do you know that you also have to budget for offering? Yes. I'm telling you, sincerely speaking, just take it from me.
Face value.
If you go to a church, yes, if you go to a church or you go to any religious setting, institution, whatever, and the person is saying, as you are seated there, you have to drop everything you have in your pocket as offering. If it's not in my budget, I'm not dropping. Yes. See, you must be intentional and disciplined. See, God does not give money. The only thing He does is He gives you idea. So, okay, if you look at everything that God created the sun, the stars,
just doing their work.
And now someone has been able to convert the idea of the sun to solar that is not making money for him.
Do you understand? So somebody, exactly, God gives you that idea. So the solar that He has already created, you can now tap that wisdom He has given you to get money. So praying that God should give you money, you're wasting your time. And dropping all what you have in your pocket and believing that some money will just hit your account like that. If any money that is not yours hits your account, will you spend it? Just be sincere with yourself. Because they will trace it. You still trace it back to your account. Instead, someone gives you. And another thing is that when somebody gives you,
they come there and say,
they will still trace it. They will still trace it, and then they discover that this money is not yours. You have to return it. So we have to get to that point. I know religion is very sensitive topic in this part of the world, but we have to be intentional.
Reality speaking now. Moment of truth. This is our moment of
Yes. Somebody walks up to you, the person is just walking by on the street. This is what we see on a normal day in Lagos or in Nigeria. People just walking by, hey, excuse me, sir. Please, I'm just going to so place. Can you give me transport or whatever? You have them about 4 people on that same road. Are they colleagues? Are they whatever? I don't want to know. So that person, you will discover if you give that guy is not entering bus. He's not. So am I saying don't give? Give, but you have to be strategic. You have to be intentional.
Something similar like this happened to me just 2 Sundays ago. I was driving out of somewhere, and the guy came. Boss, I need money. I want to translate myself. The moment I gave him the 1,000 naira, he must get in front of me. I seen it. I was like, you will say
Rock is street.
But he stand there, they smoke the cigar.
Oh.
I said, what?
Yeah,
Tomorrow now, will I actually give you
exactly. So now, the planning is where the work is. Another thing every employee should know is that your income is the base for your wealth. Yes. That you have a job, that you have an employee that employs you and is paying your salary, you should be thankful to God. Because that is the base.
That's whatever you want to have multiple streams of income.
Yes,
that money comes. If you don't have any other things, that is where
So
that's the fish pond.
absolutely.
The fish pond of
Absolutely.
your
So
wealth.
you should be grateful for it.
You should diversify.
Yeah, you should be grateful for it. You should just love it and be appreciative that you have that base. But if you are reckless, you will still be almost the same as the guy on the street begging. The only difference is that you are wearing suit and tie and you are under AC.
According to Spring Financials, because we said we are having the global, we are looking at things globally. They said 32% of Canadians are nearing retirement without any saving whatsoever. So you must plan.
So that income that comes every month, there's two things inside it. Yes. Number one, there's consumption inside that income, and there's a seed inside it. You see,
It's not something like a pastor.
this reality. This just this matter of. If you read this guy's book on multiple sources of income, he mentioned it there. Forgotten his name, Robert. I forgot the second name. Multiple sources of income. That's what he said. So those are things that create and shape our mindset.
Can you say that again? Said there is
consumption
and there is seed.
So this is not a matter
So
of
this is not using the seed.
this is not a
Yes. Consume the seed. They chop the seed.
exactly. Because some people are eating everything at the seed field. What happens when you eat mango seed?
Nothing to practice.
No, let's not talk about your health.
Okay. Yeah.
What
appendix?
Something is wrong with your health. You know, when you eat the mango and you eat the seed, your health is affected. You understand?
In this case, your finance is
Yes, even your mental health is affected because lack of finance drains somebody. Yes, I've been there before. I've been there.
We've all been there.
You understand? Even at this moment, it's not as if I am on that financial freedom that I explained earlier. But I'm on the path. I'm just absolutely. That's what the podcast is all about. So we are not here to say, oh, we have arrived. No, we are just saying that we are working towards it. Because what happens at age 60 when you retire? What happens? And you are here eating your possession and seed. What happens? What about your children? Most of us, our parents, have lands that they give to. They didn't go to corporate work. They are just doing their normal work. But they have lands. When they die, they say, okay, Mr. So, or my children, this is the land your father or this is the house. People will say family house that your father built.
That didn't have a corporate 9 to 5.
That didn't have a 9 to 5. You don't have a 9 to 5 that you you can project. For example, if you save 10,000 naira in a year, 10,000 naira in a year means that you are saving less than 8,000. Who cannot afford to save at least one day? You just save 900 naira. Let's say you are not even saving 900 naira. Let's say 10,000 naira in a year, a whole full year.
It's just 10,000 naira every day.
No. I'm saying in 1 year. In 1 year at least. Yeah? So let's even break it down per month. So 10,000 by 12. So you have less than 1,000 naira that you are saving in a month. That's what I'm saying.
Yes.
In 1 month, you are saving less than
If you even have a
1,000.
colo or bigger and just putting 1,000 naira every month.
Yes, if you are putting 1,000, please you have 12,000 naira. Okay, let's even say you are saving 1,000 naira in a month. Not even a day. At the end of 1 month, just 1,000 naira. At the end of the year, you have 12,000 naira. That 12,000 naira in the next 20 years. Do you understand? So you have about 48,000 naira or more. Or let's say, no, let's not say in the next 20 years. Let's say in the next 10 years. You have 12,000, you have 120,000, you have 240,000. You understand? And you have 360,000 naira in 30 years. Do you know that if you invest that 12,000 naira in year one, and you have an interest of 12% on investment? So I'm talking about the principle of compound interest now. Compound interest, like Albert Einstein. Albert Einstein said that is one of the best innovation man has made. Compound interest, the principle of compound interest, where your investment, the interest on your investment is added to your capital, and there is rollover plus interest again. If you have 20% interest on that 12,000 at the end of the year for 30 years, you would have built up to 5 million naira. It means you can boldly say that in your lifetime you are a millionaire.
A study by SBM Intelligence found that 27% of Nigerians across different income categories now resort to loan apps to keep up with their living expenses. Personally, I believe this is probably one of the issues we looked at in financial literacy, because people cannot budget. People don't understand the principle of budgeting. They don't know what the say 50, 20, 30 pennies or 20, 30, 30. They're like different budgeting principles of arithmetic. How can people catch up with this reality? How can people key into those budgeting options, and how can they make it sincerely work for them?
Straight up, number one, avoid debt. Many people think you can easily access loan app, you can collect loan. See, loan is like a trap. It's very easy to, or debt, debt is like a trap. Very easy to it's difficult to come out.
Particularly, did you make me use of it? Collecting on
Yes, so businesses borrow loan. They have capital, huge capital to invest in a business that will bring return. But you are borrowing loan for consumption. Small people, you want to make you anywhere. So don't be loan like a plague. Think of budget and how do you go about it? You already have your income. Your income is your take home. What the HR your take home is what is left after the pension. Do you even know that if pension is not compulsory in payroll, people will not save for retirement?
yes.
They will say
It's the seed.
you understand? So after the pension, the taxes, even contribution, there are some organizations that they deduct the contribution from source. They give you what is left. You see that one that is left, you call it take home. Your take home is that income. If you have other source of income, you have some employees who do other businesses. Whatever income you have from there, add it to take home from your pay. And some people receive monthly stipend as well. They have big uncle elsewhere that gives them money per month upkeep. Add everything. That is your total income. Then your expense is where you have to sit down and write. What am I spending this month? Everything to the last penny. To gift, to offering, to
Everything.
DSTV,
Garage.
even there are some subscription that you don't even need as well. Some DSTV subscription, yes, let's be self ourselves. Drop the package if you know that.
You're not even the guy that sits at home. Wife is not home, husband is not home.
Exactly.
You come home at night. Like, I'm streaming Netflix. So what are you doing?
Cut off those automatic subscription. You have Netflix, you have Prime Video, you have all those things.
Apple, family, everything.
The things on Prime Video. Good. So definitely you already have those things.
You can meet up with it. If it's not important and it's not affecting your savings, it's not easy your seat. I like that.
You just like to be nice packaging. I know what I'm looking for.
I don't even want to see it.
You understand? Yes, because I love my favorite shit and all those things. So I have budget for them. I can
You are
take care of them.
intentional with the bill.
Yes, I can take care of them. Conveniently without stress. Now, when you highlight all those things, including service, including offering and everything, what is left? What is left is what you can, because you have already budgeted for savings and budget for investment. You see, savings does not give you wealth. It is investment that gives you wealth.
The money will just be there depreciating if the economy is not good.
Yes, savings is, let me say, savings is for consumption. You have money in the savings account. Don't forget you have ATM in your pocket. After you enter shopping mall and all that, you bring out your ATM. You know, you are just saying debit, back. But that one cannot happen in your investment. So don't think, oh, I have money in the bank. No, you don't have money in the bank. What you have there is you kept what you want to spend in the future. That's what you did. So if you want to build wealth, you have to migrate from savings to investment.
I think we would need to have a podcast on investments.
Exactly. But you know, yes, that is fantastic. But the proper plan is to plan for saving to put percentage on it. You must be saving, you must be saving. You cannot eat everything.
And this savings
In
can
this
also be
Nigeria
emergency fund.
This Nigeria economy is stifling. It's stifling.
Your money
to
depreciates in the
yes,
past.
to
So
not-
just
to not
like
be
for an
serious
investment
with
to
our-
land, if it's a plot of land in anywhere.
with our finance. Okay, we'll discuss about investment later if you have the time. But that was another kettle of fish on how to navigate about it, because you have some people who go and invest in all this get where you get quick sharp. You know, you put 1 million, you get 2 million like that. You also have to be intentional and know what to do. You know, so
You seem to have a lot of experiences.
you know, so just have to be intentional about everything. All the cost, even car servicing. Why will you go and buy a G-Wagon when you know your income cannot maintain the maintenance cost? Yes.
Just capture the
You
maintenance.
can't capture it, so just calm. You know,
A
just
pathway,
take
a
it
pathway,
it's
a
a
pathway.
pathway. You will get there. Don't
We even buy 10 G-Wagons and to give away.
don't live above your income. But don't let anybody pressure you. Don't let anybody pressure you. Don't let if your employer looks at your car at the car park and say, you are the manager. Why are you driving this kind of car? Let them buy a new car for you. Yes, let them buy a new car. But when you get there, when your finance is up to, you can now. You understand? Another thing is that when we have salary uplift, I need to say this. When a place gets salary uplift, the appetite to spend automatically jumps up.
Everything becomes a want. Is it a want? I think everything becomes a want.
I think what basically just happens is as your finances are expanded, your spending will equally respond to that expansion and
Yes,
expansion.
exactly. It's the spending appetite.
Yes.
You know, you just walk into the
You've been
mall.
passing KFC before.
You know,
Now
you
you
know
want
that you enter when you are in a certain level. You see some things on the shelf. Like, but when you not get the uplift, you go to that same shelf. You carry, come on, now you can.
And I think to be because it's a moment of truth, right?
Yeah.
It's not even a problem to desire more. I mean, like they say, you put all the hard work in so you can give yourself something a good life. But what we are saying is, press the calculator.
Let's go down.
Right? Press the calculator before you spend it.
Yes.
Not that you just walk into a mall and then you see a fine shoe and then you bought the shoe, you not realize it even size shoe. And then you just keep it up there. Press the calculator. Be intentional with the expense. The expense. I think
You are a single person. And you are living in a two-bedroom apartment.
Yes, that's
Let's just be realistic. You are single, you're not
and
married.
no
You are
plan to
not
get
planning to
married.
get married.
Maybe a couple of money just came.
You know, just like, like
And you didn't even get using for an office space. Maybe you say you want to use one. No plan. Out of peer pressure, maybe.
Maybe. So even if you have a visitor, the visitor uses what about the other room? And you're paying everything. So just about go back, pen to paper. If you don't write like my phone, I have my notes where I just type that okay, this yes, so you don't need to write on paper, you can put on phone and say, okay, this phone, what I'm spending in January is already this day. Yeah, it's already at your mind. So as it's coming in, they know.
So I can't call and say, oh, Femi, I need like
Yeah,
3,000.
because there's a budget for emergency.
Maybe I'll call it.
There's a budget for emergency.
I'm telling you,
There's a budget for emergency.
But if I call in 3 months, you say, we give back.
So another thing about borrowing, when you want to borrow people what you know, if they don't pay back, you know affect.
And they should be credit worthy.
Exactly. There are people that are of integrity. You understand? But at the end of the day, yeah, that no debt, and you have school fee to pay. You understand? So you have to now wait and then go and tell the school that oh, give me more time. I'm waiting for one money somewhere. You understand? So this other things just these wealthy people, let's be sincere, the Dangotes, the $10, you see them spend. Don't everybody just had a all night party and he spend a lot. So we in our mind we think the man is wasting money. No, it is within.
As a matter of fact, I
scope,
think
yes.
do you be able for something club the highest in the banking industry like
Yes.
trillion naira? So it's a comfortable dollar. It's a comfortable dollar. He didn't come for that.
Yes,
He didn't take a lot to fund that like
after the party, he's not begging for money.
it might be his profit, exactly. It might be his profit.
After the party, he's not calling to say, I beg, borrow me money. No, his deal is confined. Good health is good. Just do it within what you
And he does it once a year. He must have planned the get.
Something was a plan ahead.
He has a
There's
there's an account going, there's money going into account for that.
there's a pool of funds.
Funds like okay, every month, 10 million. 10
How
million.
come he did not invite all the musicians in the world? No, he just selected.
There's a budget. He self worked with the principle of budget.
You understand? So
It's been a nice time talking to Stanley, our HR professional, and Femi, our financial expert. Again, it's Pathway 2024, and I believe that we've had a lot to learn. Honestly, I feel like we should not even draw the curtains here because it's been an amazing time here. So I want to say thank you, Femi, and thank you, Stanley. Just before we actually bring it to a total close, do you have anything you want to say in one minute?
So what I just want to say, whatever you're doing, whatever consistency is key. In your work, that skill that you're learning, and everything generally, just don't give up. Consistent. Believe me, you'll be surprised at the kind of results that you achieve within a short period.
Thank you. Don't give up. Don't give up. And over the period of time, you'll be surprised with everything you achieve. So, our financial experts.
yeah, start now. Just start your journey now. It's not too late. Start now.
There's secrets for you.
Just start now. Don't eat your consumption and
See.
yes.
Yeah, thank you very much. It's been a wonderful time. So, thank you for being part of our show today. Thank you to all the crew. And a shout out to T Studios. Thank you for having us also here today. Till we meet again, I remain Meji and Akoya, your host, Pathway 2020. Okay, so before we go, we have a little gift to present to our speakers for being a part of this. Okay, so we want to say thank you to our HR professional and want to say thank you to Mr. Femi, our financial expert from MC Specialist.
Thank you very much. This is lovely. God bless.
Lovely.
Thank you all. We'll see you again. Thank you.